The Smoky Mountains aren't just old. They're ancient, older than any nation, any map, and most of what we call truth. People vanish out here. Stories come back without storytellers. And sometimes, roads appear on no map, winding into places where the trees lean too close and the night breathes back. Tonight, on Dark Horror Bytes, we share the testimony of a man who took a job driving tourists through these woods. Something easy, harmless, until they handed him the list of rules. Rules you had to follow. Or things would start getting on the bus that didn't get off. This is his story. He says it's all true. I am a tour bus driver in the haunted Smoky Mountains. There are strange rules to follow. It started last fall when I lost my route out of Asheville. I was a CDL certified driver, mostly running charter buses for senior centers, music festivals, the occasional school field trip. After COVID, the work dried up fast. Then I saw an ad posted on a tattered bulletin board at a diner just outside Pigeon Forge. Seeking night tour driver, $800 per night. Minimal stops. Smoky Mountains back routes only. Lodging provided. Applicants must be willing to follow instructions. The phone number wasn't local, but I was desperate. I called. A man picked up. He only asked 2 questions. Can you follow a GPS without questioning it? Can you follow a list of rules without breaking them? I said yes. That was my first mistake. The depot was about 30 minutes from Gatlinburg, down an old gravel path with no signs and no reception. There were only 2 buses parked out front. Both looked old, 90s style, faded decals that used to say Appalachian Echo Tours. The tires were new, tank full, heat working. The dispatcher was a man in a brown Ranger jacket. Name tag just said W. He handed me a folder. Inside, my route, cash in a rubber band, and a laminated sheet labeled Smoky Mountains Route 9, Operational Rules. Read carefully. These rules are not a joke. 1. Depart no later than 6 p.m. If any passenger is late, leave them. 2. There should be 8 passengers. No more, no less. If the count changes, stop the bus, shut off the lights, and wait silently until it's 8 again. 3. Don't speak to any passenger wearing red gloves. They are not part of the tour. 4. If you pass the yellow church twice, do not continue the loop. Turn off the engine, count to 60, then proceed in reverse. 5. Around 9:30 p.m. you'll hear knocking under the bus. Don't investigate. Don't stop. 6. If the GPS reroutes without warning, do not follow it. Instead, recite the phrase written on the back of this paper. 7. If you smell wood smoke and hear laughter in the trees, turn the cabin lights on and instruct all passengers to close their eyes. 8. At midnight, the road will split. Follow the path lined with lanterns. Never take the dark road even if it looks shorter. \N9. When dropping off passengers, check the mirror after each one leaves. If you don't see your own reflection, stay in the bus until dawn. 9. Never take souvenirs from the woods. Ever. I laughed at first. Thought it was some weird company initiation ritual. W just looked at me and said, "You think they're funny until you break one." My first tour had 8 passengers, mostly older couples and 2 college girls with cameras. We pulled out at 6 p.m. sharp. By 6:45 we were deep in the woods. No lights, no signal. Just the rumble of the wheels and branches tapping the windows. At 7:22 p.m. I passed the yellow church. Then again, at 7:39 p.m. I remembered Rule 4. I stopped the bus, turned off the engine, counted to 60 aloud. The trees creaked. Someone behind me whispered, "He's not gonna make it." Then silence. I restarted. This time the road curved right instead of left. At 9:27 p.m., right on cue, the undercarriage started knocking. Not random. It was rhythmic. Like something with limbs was crawling inside the frame of the bus. A woman in the back, passenger 3 I remember, asked, "Is that a prank?" I said nothing. Just kept driving. From the side mirror, I saw a hand reach from under the bus and drag its fingers across the asphalt. Passenger 5 started sobbing quietly. When I hit 40 miles per hour, the knocking stopped. At the overlook stop, I did a head count, 8 passengers. All accounted for. Then I blinked, and there were 9. One of them was sitting silently near the back, red gloves on their lap. No one else reacted. It was like they couldn't see them. I remembered Rule 3. I didn't speak, didn't even look in the rearview mirror. Just said, "Okay, everyone back on the bus." When we resumed the route, I glanced once, just once. The figure in red gloves was still there, smiling. At around 10:15, we passed an abandoned ranger station. Suddenly the inside of the bus smelled like a campfire. Laughter echoed from the woods. Not friendly laughter, hungry, broken laughter. I flipped the cabin lights on. Instruct all passengers to close their eyes. Some resisted. The laughter got louder. The wood smoke grew thick. I screamed, "Close your eyes now." As they did, something outside screeched so loud it cracked the windshield. We didn't stop. When the smoke cleared, the road was empty again. Near midnight, the road forked. Left was lined with old lanterns swaying gently in the wind. Right was a smooth, freshly paved path, shorter, faster, safer looking. The GPS rerouted, pointing right. But I remembered Rules 6 and 8. I pulled out the laminated sheet and flipped it over. Written in faded marker. "In the forest's eye, I am not food." I whispered it 3 times. The GPS glitched. Recalculated. Lanterns flickered brighter. I took the left. In the mirror, I saw the red-gloved figure behind me, dissolving like smoke. We made it back just after 12:30 a.m. 7 passengers got off one by one. After each, I checked the mirror. Still had a reflection. But the 8th? He stopped by the front steps. Looked at me with pale eyes. "I wasn't supposed to get on," he said. Then he stepped off the bus and vanished mid-step. No sound. No trace. I looked in the mirror. No reflection. I stayed in the bus until sunrise. When I finally stepped outside, the air felt wrong. Like the shadows were too still. The next morning, there was a note duct taped to the windshield. In the same handwriting as the rules. "You did well. Not all do. The mountains remember kindness. But they never forget disobedience. We'll call when the season changes. Don't answer unless you're ready." I quit the same day. But sometimes I still dream of that road splitting into darkness, and the lanterns flickering like fireflies. Sometimes I hear laughter in the trees when I drive late at night. And once, just once, I looked in my rearview mirror and saw a pair of red gloves on the seat behind me. In the mountains, roads remember. The trees listen. And sometimes the bus has more people on it than you picked up. If you ever find yourself driving into the Smoky Mountains, and someone hands you a list of rules, read them carefully. And never, ever ignore a passenger wearing red gloves. Thanks for watching Dark Horror Bytes. If you enjoyed this chilling tale, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to never miss another nightmare on the road. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the rules.